Hey everybody, and welcome back to another book review. So I just finished another book in the Irish Village Mysteries series, which I think I've mentioned before. Really nice, easygoing, chill series written by Carlene O'Connor. So this was book four in the series, and it's book four, but it's book five that I've read of the series because I read the series. I read book six before I read the first one. But like it's just continuing the story. So again, the story is about Siobhan O'Sullivan, who is a guard or cop in Ireland, Kilbane, Ireland, which is in Cork and or County Cork, I should say, not Cork City. But this particular book, in comparison to the others that I've read so far, I liked this one probably better than some of the others, only because it took me so long to, only because I was able to guess this time, and it was more enjoyable to figure out or watch the characters figure out who it was. Like, I figured it out way before, and usually I don't when it comes to mysteries. Like, it takes me a while to figure things out, but this one I was actually able to figure out who the murderer was, and it was just kind of more entertaining to watch the characters try and figure it out. I was like, dude, seriously, it's really obvious it's that guy. But I liked it better for that. Like, it didn't take away from the story overall of them trying to figure it out. In this one, they have a poker tournament that comes to town, and so there are a bunch of poker players, and they are trying to figure out how one of them was murdered. I will say this one does have a warning, or I would give it a trigger warning for suicide, because it's the murder is staged as a suicide, and so that can be a little bit daunting. I think the story spends an awful lot of time on it, in describing it, and so for some folks that might be a little rough. But that aside, like, I thought it was just really interesting, and I feel like the author is starting to explore a little bit more with the way that the story gets started. And then also, it was just nice to kind of have the other characters interplaying, intertwined, as the story goes on. So, again, it's about Siobhan O'Sullivan and her family, and so each of her siblings is still, going through something, and so I like that you don't really lose the bits and pieces with the siblings as the story goes on. I feel like that can be kind of challenging, as you have like the main six kids in the O'Sullivan family, but then you also have the person that Siobhan is dating, and then one of the siblings is also dating someone. So then you have these like extra characters that you add without also losing past characters. Because it takes place in a village, and so other characters that may have been featured in past stories do come back. So, like, one of the stories, one of their family friends is Bridie, and she now helps out with taking care of the kids and the bistro and everything. So that, like, continues. She doesn't have a lot of, like, speaking parts, but she's still there. The person that owns the shop across the street from them, Sheila, she's still not prominently featured, but she's mentioned several times. And so I like that the author continues to, like, expound upon this village, and even in this book, it's like in the previous three books, it's been a lot of like this tiny little village, and they pretty much don't ever leave the village unless they're going up to one of the castles nearby, and that's pretty much it. But like this one, the story actually takes place outside of the village wall. So like the village has a wall around it, and so the pub, because it's Murder in an Irish Pub, is outside of the wall. And so they talk about kind of what it's like to go outside of the wall versus being inside of the wall. And so that's kind of fun to kind of hear um, that side of things. I think like if I have one complaint, I think it would just be that um, like I want a little bit more depth. Like we're 4 books in, and I want a little bit more depth to Siobhan. Like I feel like she's still very kind of surface level, and she could go a little bit deeper now, especially as she develops. In the story, they do talk about the fact that she is very young, so I think she's probably around 20. Well, by the time this book takes place, she's probably closer to like 24, 25. Maybe a year or two younger. But it's just like I'm like, as you're getting older, especially like when you hit 25, you really kind of sink in and start to like figure out who you are as an adult. And so I just feel like that could be expounded upon a little bit more, especially because she's dating her dating one of the other police officers who is older than her and has a little bit more experience. And I feel like sometimes he kind of dumps himself down to match up with her, and that doesn't really 100% work. But outside of that, like I said, it's a good book, good book series. Really enjoying it, and enjoying continuing to read it. I've been trying and attempting to fill out the bookshelves behind me, so a couple books have been added. Especially like in terms of series or like a specific author, and I think this will probably be like one of those where I'm like, I'm gonna buy the whole series when I can. So I'm hoping that at some point there will be a whole shelf dedicated to just the series. But yeah, like I said, 4.5 out of 5. Like really good book. I'm still really enjoying the series and looking forward to continuing to read it. So there you have it. As always, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you feel so emboldened and passionate to do, but do not have to. Do not feel like you are obligated. I just enjoy reading and enjoy sharing that with you, and this is a good way for me to continue to keep track and keep up. So there you have it. I will see you all in the next book review. Bye!